Hey guys, Java JRSP, Johnson Reality Self Protection. Also the head founder of the Cyrdo Method, head coach and advisor for that method. I'm also the founder of ADC, American Danby Concepts, and I am also a certified Medusa Edge weapon instructor. Super proud of that, like super passionate about this system, and everything I do like plays into this, and this plays into everything that I do. So what I've been seeing lately is people arguing about forward grip and reverse grip, what grip is better than the other, and what do you prefer and everything. And let me just say right now, both forward grip and reverse grip, I personally believe that they're both great, and I don't think one is better than the other. I think it comes down to really what you prefer at the end of the day, and a lot of factors are going to play into that preference. Okay, depending on what you carry and how you carry it, that is going to play into um, what grip you prefer. Seeing as I carry a fixed blade down in the pocket, okay, that plays into what I prefer. And really, I'll say I have a preference for forward grip because, in my personal opinion, even just over the years, I've just always lean toward forward grip. It just always felt a little bit better to me. But I train both forward grip and reverse grip because you may be in a situation where you can't obtain uh, whatever blade you're trying to use. You can't obtain it in a forward grip. For some reason, you have to use it in forward grip. So it's good to train both. So you know it. I train both. I like reverse grip as well. I do a lot of reverse grip strikes with, say, our handlers. Our handlers are reverse grip, like heavy leaning, because a reverse grip with a like palm stick is going to be a lot more powerful than, say, a forward grip with a palm stick. Even though I do like to do reverse grip strikes to vital areas of a person, and our handler is specifically designed to be able to do powerful forward grip strikes, it still is going to be more effective using a reverse grip. So we can do forward grip strikes with it, of course, but a reverse grip strike is still always going to be more effective. So I train reverse grip with palm sticks all the time. But all that being said, seeing as that I carry my knife down in the pocket because that's just comfortable for me, because you're not going to carry something that is not comfortable. Say if I had this knife rigged to the belt up here and it just was digging into my side every time I moved, I wouldn't carry it that way. That's why I don't carry this knife that way, because I'm a big guy and I've carried all different types of ways and stuff. And just to be able to access your blade quickly, you got to carry it in the way that is like most comfortable for you and the way that's easiest for you to train. And that's why I've been carrying down in the pocket for years, and I'm going to continue to do that. Do I recommend that for you? No, I don't. I recommend you work with a bunch of different ways to carry, and you find the most comfortable way for you to carry, and then you need to start building yourself up on that and training every day, and so you can get the blade into the situation. Like, it's not second nature, it's first nature. You train until it's first nature. I've never liked that terminology, second nature. It's like we train until it's first nature. But if that's the case, for me personally, forward grip just has always felt a little bit better to me, just in general. Even if we subtracted how I carry down in the pocket and everything, I still think I would prefer forward grip. But that doesn't make forward grip better than reverse grip. I think they're both good, and I think depending on the situation, they both shine. And how you carry, maybe you carry a uh, folding knife with a wave feature, and when you pull it out, it comes out into, however you carry it, comes out into reverse grip. Okay, and that's how you prefer to carry. That's the blade you prefer to carry. Well, that's how you're gonna have to train. Okay, so those are the factors that are gonna determine if you carry forward grip or reverse grip. Okay, so I don't personally feel, like I said, that one is better than the other. I feel that a bunch of things are going to factor into what is better for you at the end of the day. But since I also train American Danby Concepts, I came up with that, because I love Danby. But I'll watch it on YouTube and I watch what they do. Danby's a African boxing style that's getting more and more popular, but I've been watching it for years, even before it started to really grow. But at the end of the day, they do a bunch of stuff that I don't really agree with, but I see the potential in Danby. I like the concepts because we're Danby's different than American boxing. You're using both hands to strike. So that's two things you got to be focusing on at the same time, if you get what I'm saying. It's kind of hard for me to like put it into words. But if one hand is designated for defense and one hand is designated for offense, then that's all I have to focus on. I don't have to focus on using both hands for defense and trying to make a bunch of combinations based upon that. All I have to focus on is I know that this hand is for defense and this hand is for offense. This is my shield. This is my spear. It's the art of the shield and the spear. Okay, so for me with ADHD, that makes things a lot easier for me. It may not make things a lot easier for you, but for me, it just clicks and it just goes into Medusa so seamlessly because I can be here in my modified Danby stance because in American Danby concepts, you're going to be up here. You're not going to be in a traditional Danby stance like you see them do like in Africa in the sport where it's like this right here. You're going to be up like here, guarded. This is for like self-protection, self-defense, okay? So I can automatically bash with the shield here and automatically from bashing with the shield go into the transition into latch right there. So I shield bashed this dude, which was my shock latch. Now obtain the knife right here. Shock latch, obtain the knife, and I'm automatically going into stab. Okay, shock latch, stab. Okay, so and traditionally, if you're holding the knife in forward grip, the traditional thought process is okay. Well, the knife is going to be leading the way, but if we're using American Danby concepts, that's not the case. Okay, the knife is actually going to be in the spear hand at that point, back here, and I'm using the shield to do a shock, a distraction right here, so I can go into my latch, and then I'm automatically going into stab. So that's how forward grip works for me, and it works with like incorporating American Danby concepts into my Medusa training and practice right there. And so my knife, even though it's in forward grip, is not in the rear or the frontal position right here. The knife is not leading the way. I'm using my shield hand to, for one, I'm using it to defend against any incoming attacks at that time, then using it to shock, and then going for the stab. You want to incorporate deployment into your training. So once again, it becomes first nature, not second nature, because you don't need second nature in a life and death situation. You need first nature. Okay, second nature will cause you're going to deploy the knife in a real world situation where it's life or death, and this guy hits you, and you're under so much stress at that point in time that you're fidgeting with it, and you go to get it, and you hear that it fell on the ground. Now this guy is all over you, and you don't got your knife, so now it's empty hands. And the last thing you want to be doing in a life and death struggle is having to fight this guy off with empty hand tactics. Okay, that's the last thing I want to do. Like if it's life and death, someone's trying to take my life, I want to have lethal force or some type of force enhancer or force multiplier into the situation, so I have the advantage. But like if your weapon just fell off over there on the ground, now it's a bad situation, and that's why in Cyrdo, we teach to always have at least 4 things. So you can go to your secondary at that point. We always train both sides because now I have to attack this guy. I'm not going to be trying to switch the weapon hands. You don't do that like a Medusa training, So now I had to pull my secondary, and I have to do what I got to do, and I have to do it with my weaker side. But since I've trained both sides, it's going to be okay. But hey, guys, this is Java JRSP. Hopefully that gives you a little bit of insight into forward grip and reverse grip, and that neither one is better than the other. It really all comes down to what is going to be better for you depending on how you choose to carry and what you choose to carry. That's going to be the deciding factor in what grip is going to be more comfortable and more preferable to you. But always remember that the world's a big place, all danger is very real, and it's always better to be paranoid and alive than complacent and dead. And I don't want any of y'all to go through your lives living in paranoia. I don't consider myself to be paranoid, but I consider myself to be paranoid. So always know that the majority of you are not going to run into situations that are going to be worth your life or your freedoms. But if you come across a situation where you got to defend your family and the people that you love, your friends, and you're backed into a corner, you got to do what you got to do. Always remember that when you can, it is always better just to walk away. You guys take it easy.